Welcome to day 8 of the 12 days of Christmas. This is your day 8 package. These bags, I'm so excited. I found them in a container and I've kept them. They're some older Stampin' Up! Bags, and you will be able to reuse them. But we're doing mini dimensionals. So I got you guys a whole pack of the mini dimensionals. I love them. That way you don't have to cut your big guys. And we're going to do the Petal Pink card. I really love Petal Pink. For those of you who were around when we had Blushing Bride, I gotta say I love Petal Pink. Just a little bit of coffee. All right, so we're gonna use our dimensionals today up on our piece. So the Petal Pink, we're going to use this piece and we're going to continue it on the inside. And what's nice is you have this really cool gate. So we're going to use the outside piece. This is from the Garden Meadows dies. And I think this is a great reason to buy the die set, is just for this gate piece. So we're going to use the window piece of it later, but I wanted to use this piece too. And it happens to fit our little seat. So if you were going to add sentiments to these cards, it would be very easy to stamp a sentiment and pop it up on the front. You know, hello, thank you for being a good friend. This one could be, you know, maybe a sympathy card. So with this one, I'm going to use the pecan and I'm going to color the bench. And I did not color the flowers, so I only colored the bench. The pecan pie in this set is really, really nice. It has almost like a rust tone to it, and so I think it really, it lends itself well to things with pinky hues. And so you're just gonna go in and color the bench. It's pretty easy to color the bench. I did not color this slat in the back. I think that slat is the opening. So as you can see on my sample, I did not color that. But if you disagree, you know, color it and see what happens. I finished coloring it and then I just wasn't sure. I don't know. I had a moment. But I feel like it's the air vent at the bottom. And I went a little darker on the legs. So one of the things I do when I'm coloring, if I lose my way, is I refer to the printed image on the stamp set, on the case, because sometimes when you're stamping an image and you're coloring it, sometimes you lose it. You can't find where the flower is, or you don't know what's a leaf versus a flower. But if you look at the stamped image on the case, usually that kind of helps you re-find your way. So okay, so then once you've done that, then you're gonna want to make sure your piece is nice and clean, and then you can use your blending brush. So I did include some watercolor paper in your paper sample. And I ended up not making a card with it, which is kind of interesting. So Fluid 100 is our 100-pound watercolor paper. It comes in a pretty small pack, so it's not, you know, I would say it's not the most affordable watercolor paper in the world, but it's very nice. It's a nice weight. It has a little bit of texture to it, so you are going to get some texture in the images. And I will showcase kind of some ideas on how to use it, and hopefully you'll have some ideas for future cards with this stamp set. But I did want to acknowledge that there was some watercolor paper in your set, and I'm not using it in any of the samples, at least. All right, so here we go. Almost done. Just kind of pulling that color down on those slats. And if you want to practice this on a sample piece of paper, you know, because you don't have the die set and you don't want to mess this up, that's fine. You could also, you know, practice on the back and then use the front. Also a choice. All right, and then for this one, originally I was going to use the back side of this piece, but then I decided to use the front side of it. So the back is really pretty. It has lots of purples. It's a beautiful, beautiful card. But I really did like the path. So on the inside, I used the top piece, and on the bottom, I used the bottom piece. So I'm gonna cut it like I cut it before. So we're gonna go 5 1/4. So we're just gonna trim this left-hand edge because it's a little dark and heavy. And then we're going to trim a 4-inch piece from the bottom. And we'll put the 4-inch piece on the bottom, on the inside. And then before you use your dimensionals to glue your piece down, you can put a little tab of this ribbon here. I thought it was a nice soft touch on here. You don't have to, you can do whatever you want. You could also, you know, you could punch and tie like a little piece there. Just a little bit over on this. All right, and then I'm going to, I've got a punch here. Yeah. So I'm going to show you, this is the trio punch, and I'm going to kind of line this up. I'm going to punch a little tag piece out of there, and then I'm going to use my ribbon and my linen thread. I'll do something a little bit different on this one so you can see. Alternates, right? So we'll put this piece through, and then we're going to get ourselves a piece of twine. They put the linen thread in the paper pumpkins a lot. So one of the things I like to do sometimes when it's hard to get a handle on a piece, I like to get my dimensionals and glue down the piece before I put it in, before I try to tie the bow. So sometimes you'll see I'll glue a piece down, and then I'll bring in this, and it just helps to hold things down and kind of gives you like an extra set of hands. So sometimes if you're finding it hard and you want to do a technique like this, but you're like, how do I hold this and do this, this, and this? This is one way to do it. Glue your piece down first and then tie your pieces on it. Nice. We'll trim. And I'll definitely trim. Okay. Nice. So just a different look. This is just a little tab, tab look, and this is just a little different. But same bench, right? Same pretty piece of paper. And you could flip the DSP and get a totally different card. So, all right, thanks for joining. I look forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow is day 9. So, all right, see you later. Bye-bye.